What's up, guys? Keyshawn Uchiha here, back at you with another new Ultimate Universe What If. Now, this will be the 3,000 subscriber special. This will be containing, well, I might as well tell you the what if idea first before we, get to conclusions and assuming anything. This will be what if Naruto learned the moon breathing style, or should I say moon breathing style? Now this is from Demon Slayer, and I did my research on it, so I didn't want to leave no style out, leave no detail unturned, leave no crack uncrinky or some crap like that. I didn't want to leave nothing crappy. All right, I wanted to make this good. I wanted to make this as a special 3,000 subscriber special. I wanted y'all guys to love this and like it. And also another announcement. I will be working on another videos on next weekend. I didn't do a video on Saturday because I kind of got lazy. I'm sorry about that, guys. But I will be doing like 3 videos today. But next weekend I will do the videos that y'all guys want me to do. Now, this will be a new what if, and this will be for the 3,000 subscriber special. What if Naruto learned the moon breathing style? And I should probably give out the warnings. Now, if let me give out the warnings. So, caution: this will contain blood, gore, guts, edginess, a little bit sex scenes, a little bit extra detail for y'all guys because we're reaching 3,000 subscribers, and also possibly strong language that YouTube wouldn't condone. So, if you're not 18, if you're not, if you're a church child and you go to church and you do your prayers every day and you pray to your Lord, please get the fuck out the get the fuck out the kitchen because she's about to get spicy. But other than that, let's get started. Now, if anyone don't know about Moon Breathing Style, it's from Demon Slayer. It's by this guy, which I pretty much forgot his name. Hold on, let me user Katrusha. I can't even say his name right, but basically it's this guy. He is, you could say, the demon who knows the moon breathing style, and he used it to pretty much to whoop out some of the characters' asses before he met his defeat. Now, I'm just gonna say one of the breathing styles, and we're just gonna say one of the styles. Now, the first one is the first form, Dark Moon, Evening Place. It is basically you could say he draws out a sword, or the user draw out his sword and slashes swiftly in a single motion, like with all moon breathing techniques. Or see, Nomasi Kalaksha, I can't even say that right. Blades, or from the slash, the technique reminisces pretty much like that. But it's basically like a single moon slash, straightforward, if I'm correct. Swiftly. Now, that's regularly the first form. I will be doing the other forms and say what they do, but let's just get into the story. And this will be an hour long because I'm gonna be going slowly to say you could say the things right. Now, how would this start off? How would Naruto get this style or this technique? How would this go on? How will the story basically go? How it's going to be? Well, first we're going to start with plot. We're going to throw plot out the window. We already hit to this point about having plot, and y'all already know me. We've been gone of having plot in these what ifs. We've been through them out the window. So forget about the plot. We're just gonna, have the mindsets and have this idea go crazy. Now, how would this happen? We're gonna start off with pretty much. We're gonna start with the beginning of the Uchihas. We're gonna start with the beginning of the Uchihas. Or no, let's start with the Demon Slayers. We're going to link the Demon Slayers and the Naruto universe together as one. Now, pretty much, the Demon Slayers and the demons, they've been having a fight and stuff, and we're going to say at the chapter where, when the demons are pretty much, at the end, and we're going to say at the last chapter if anyone didn't see the Demon Slayer and the final part. Pretty much demons got defeated, and there's still demons around and stuff, but they kept the techniques of all of the demons that had techniques and stuff, and kept the blood, their leader blood, and we're gonna say he had a secret plan to make more demons and stuff. in the incoming future after the demon slayers, died off and stuff. Now, of course, we're gonna say a couple years go on, and they didn't reach to the future. They kind of went to an alternate path, and they went into the Naruto universe. Now, as they go into the Naruto universe, we're gonna say the demons will, you could say, begin their operation. Now, there is a couple demon slayers, but they're not nearly as the strong ones from the first demon slayers. So the Pillar Man and demon slayers, the old ones, like there is new Pillar Man, but the techniques are, you could say, forgotten. So they're kind of reteaching themselves the former techniques. Now, this is where, of course, the demons and Uzan, you could say his worshippers, pretty much, start creating more demons in the Naruto universe now. Now, of course, there's only a couple of demon slayers, and the shinobis have chakras, so they wouldn't care about learning techniques or breathing styles because they think it's not powerful, or lightning breathing style, water breathing style, like wind, all those like breathing styles. They think it's useless because, come on, like they're saying, let's be honest, it's pretty trash. So no ninjas learn that. So no one doesn't know about breeding styles except for the demon hunters, which is hardly regularly of them in the Naruto thing. Now, of course, this is where demons are. Yeah, basically like that. Sorry, but basically, yeah, Uzan demons. Basically, they are looking for comrades and stuff, and they start creating demons and hybrids and stuff, and even stronger demons than before. Now, they kind of found out the secret of going through sun, so they're kind of daywalkers now. So now they're daywalkers. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, but that means the breathing style. That means these breathing styles that these demon hunters going to use is not going to work on these demons because they're immune to sun. Listen, some of them they have to be really strong. There are low ranks and high ranks of demons. And the low ranks of demons can't walk in the sun, and they can easily get clapped by breathing styles. Now, the higher demons, some of them can walk through the sun, some of them can't. Depends on how it goes. Now, let's just continue going forward. Now, this is where, of course, not Naruto, this is where, of course, the Uchiha comes in. Now, the Uchiha, we're going to say they're kind of connected with the demons. Because we're going to say in the Thousand World with Madara having beef with, Hiroshima and, their, beef and all that stuff. As Madara is about to, you could say, get defeated, or you could say fake his own death, this is where he goes to the Uchiha with a clone and basically saying now is the time for us to plant the plot. And we're going to say the Uchiha works for Madara this time. And they actually take the demon blood, which the demons was expecting it. Now, of course, this is where the demons are, you could say the Uchiha is drinking the demon blood, and they all become demons. Now, this is where the Uchiha, we're going to make this interesting. This is where the Uchiha get their legendary Sharingan. But this is a different, unique Sharingan. It's going to have the sharp eyes instead of having the little tumbleweeds. It's going to have the little sharp eyes every time they activate the Sharingan. So, this is where, of course, some Uchiha mutated, turned into look like strong demons, and some of them, don't. So the strong demon Uchihas, went into hiding, and no one doesn't know about them except for the, sheep of the Uchiha. He doesn't tell no one else, not Itachi, his son, no one. It's only between him to his grave. No one doesn't know about these Uchiha demons. Now, we're gonna stay 1,000 years pass, and Madara is gone and all that stuff. And they're waiting for when time is to come for the Uchiha to initiate. We got hybrid Uchihas. Now, of course, this is where Fugaku and this is where, of course, Itachi and we're gonna say the Nine Tails attack. This is the Nine Tails attack going on. Now, as Minato is basically, you could say, as Minato is basically trying to, stop the Nine Tails and stuff. This is where Obito takes you could say takes Naruto away from Kushina and pretty much going. Now Minato creates a clone and is trying to teleports the Nine Tails out and fighting the Nine Tails while he's trying to fight Minato at the same time because he has a little bit more chakra left because he was holding. Now this is where Minato is holding a syringe and pretty much Minato is coming. Now this is where he says he doesn't have enough time and basically inject Naruto with the demon thing, saying this will be the strongest demon out of all of them, the strongest out of all of them. It will be the new Demon King. Now, of course, this is where the whole fight really between Minato and Obito happened, and Obito pretty much, get hit with the Rasengan in the back, but it doesn't damage him or anything because we're gonna say Minato is a demon himself. After Ren death, he took the road of the demon to pursue his goals. Now, this is where, of course, Obito runs away, and Naruto gets injected with the whole, the first Demon King blood, and will become the first demon. Now, as you could say, Minato grabs Naruto. This is where the whole scene happened, and sadly, Minato and Kushina dies, but not after stealing the full Nine Tails in Naruto. Because what the hell? Let's make it happen. Naruto can handle it. He's a baby man, you could say. Now, of course, as Naruto gets sealed with the Nine Tails. This is where, of course, Minato and Kushina's dead. But Kushina kind of put part of her, you could say, a little bit love life force into it. So, kind of has a force protection barrier, a tiny bit, not a lot, but a tiny bit. And Minato left his kind of chakra, a little bit more chakra in him, and forced him knowledge so he can learn the flying Raijin technique. Flying Raijin technique. Well, knows the flying Raijin technique without learning it. Now, this is where, of course, Hiruzen comes in, and he's looking, and we're gonna say Fukaku comes in and pretty much walking in, and pretty much helping out Hiruzen and saying what's going, like looking at the baby. Now, this is where, of course, Hiruzen picks up Naruto's, and Naruto has little horns. Well, no, not really horns. This is where his skin is pale. His skin. Actually, no. Nah. Yeah, this is where he has horns, little black horns. I mean, black blue horns, blue little tips like blue as the moon, and dark horns. So the tips are like blue as the moon, and the rest is like black, dark black. Now, this is where Naruto's skin is like pale, and when Naruto picks up, he's not crying or anything. He opens up his eyes, and it's true red. Well, no, true blue as a nice guy. Demon eyes, which Hiruzen is is terrified. You could say afraid. Doesn't know why, but he feels afraid, like he's holding a pure monster in his arms. Now, this is where Fukaku knows that that's the demon DNA that he has, or the Demon King DNA, which he doesn't know how this baby has it, but he's going to be keeping an eye on Naruto when he knows when his time is right to bring him in. Now, this is where we're going to do the time skip, and we're going to say Naruto is we're going to make everything a little bit later. We're going to make everything a little bit late. So the massacre is going to happen later when they're a little bit like in their teens, a little bit older. 15. Yeah, do 15. Yeah. So we're gonna do a couple years time skip in. This is where they're all 14. Now, Naruto, of course, is kind of failing class and stuff, and he's not the smartest mind and stuff. Which every kid does laugh at him and make fun of him, including the village. They mock him and stuff. But every time when Naruto looks at them and stuff, they have the sense of presence to shut the fuck up, or they're going to get their ass clapped without no mercy. So the village people, they don't say anything. They're more like that, talk shit behind their back, but they're terrified of him if they dare trying to touch him or lay a hand. Now, of course, this is where Naruto is going, and he's going to, you could say, katana shop, and he's looking for a blade that's quite, you know, unique to its fitting. Now, this is where the sword owner is saying, "Oh, it's just you," which Naruto looks and says, "Do you have a blade that's quite powerful and strong and can withstand any attacks?" Which the shop owner is saying, "Huh, if I did, why would I help you?" Which Naruto turns around and his eyes is pretty much is staring deep down at him, which he's terrified and saying, "Well, there is a sword that could be for you if you like." Now, this is where Naruto's looking, and he shows Naruto the Moonblade because what the hell? Now, it has a curve. It pretty much has a uniqueness to it. It's kind of the blade is like kind of sharp edge, kind of have a slight curve like a moon, and it pretty much has the tip, or you could say the tip or the guard, has a shaped moon on it, and he pretty much and the end is pretty much like blue and white. Now Naruto's looking and he's pretty much trying it out, and he does a slash down at the dummy, and it pretty much what you could say with Naruto all strength, pretty much slashed it down, and he pretty much sliced the dummy in half with quick ease. This is where Naruto smiles, does a little smile, and says, "I like it. How much is for it?" Now, of course, the owner is terrified at him and saying, "It's for free. Consider it as a deal proposition." Which Naruto pretty much smiles and says, "Thank you, sir," and pretty much walks away. Now, of course, this is where the shop owner is terrified and don't want Naruto to come back. This is where he somehow gives Naruto a scroll. Throws him a scroll. Actually, no. Let's take that back. Nah, he doesn't throw him a scroll. He pretty much just, tells him, well, now, Naruto's going home, pretty much, studying. We're going to say he's doing his studying, and he begins to read. Now, Naruto, like I said, is like not intelligent, but he's smart enough to do many things. It's just his chakra control is pretty trash. But he has somewhat of an intelligence. Not a high IQ, but somewhat intelligent. Now, Naruto is studying and stuff and practicing on his chakra. This is where the Uchiha knocks on the door and Naruto walks in. Now, the Uchiha looks different. Now, all the Uchihas look different because, like I said, the demon DNA, so it's kind of like a generation to generation. No other clan has this but the Uchiha because of Madara. So, no one has that strength, that high IQ, that powerfulness, and can only do things that's 10 times powerful is only the Uchiha, and powerful Uchihas can go out. Only the strongest Uchihas that has a demon blood can go out in the sun. Some Uchihas can't do that, so that's why they stay in the Uchiha combat and don't come out. And also because of um, we all know because of that bastard guy, but we're not gonna talk about him because I forgot his name. Hiruzen, yeah. Not Hiruzen. Mm, I forgot his name. But yeah. Well, we all know who. Danzo, yeah, Danzo. Pretty much, yeah, the Uchiha doesn't come out because they all have the demon blood and they can't walk out. Now, this is where two demon Uchihas is calling for Naruto, which, as Naruto's walking, and Naruto attire is pretty much is like his attire with the whole gami and stuff, but he has more flexible style to move around faster and stuff without getting caught up because he made it like that. Kind of like a samurai. He has like the whole samurai style robe, you could say. Now, this is where he walks out the door and looks at both of them, staring at them with a presence, which the Uchihas are scared. The two guards are, kind of a little bit scared and could say shaking, which they are saying, our head or our leader wants to talk to you, Fugaku, which Naruto begins to sigh and says, alright, and begins to start going. Now, as he's walking with them, this is where you could say the couple of other clans is looking and saying what they want with him, which Hiruzen is curious too. Why the Uchiha, which they're mystery because the Uchiha they're more powerful than all of the clans, like I said, and plus they're more like night killers, so they do jobs at night, they do missions at night, but also some do in day. Like Itachi, he has the demon blood. We're gonna say Itachi, he has the demon, tiny bit of the demon blood DNA, but not a lot. And also, mm, Sasuke, which Sasuke has a lot of it, which he's a powerful child than his brother, you could say. And also Fugaku, the wife. But pretty much they're going in, and as Naruto's going in, this is where he sees Fugaku and says, "Did you call me? Because I'm really kind of trying to study to practice my chakra to pass." This is where Fugaku looks at Naruto and pretty much, songs it says, "Ah, you do. You have just as our blood, so you are one of us." Which Naruto is saying, "Come again." Now Naruto's hair is a little bit longer in black, you could say. Now this is where Naruto's saying, "What are you talking about?" And Fukaku explains everything. Now, this is where he's telling him not everything, but sorts of details of what his why he's like this and stuff, and why he's so powerful. And we're gonna say Sasuke is tiny bit easing in on this, and listening. And this is where um, Fukaku pretty much tells Naruto that he's the Demon King of, you could say, the Demon King. Which Naruto was a little bit shocked, saying, "What do you mean I'm the Demon King?" Now, of course, Fugaku was explaining that, the last Demon King wanted to achieve his goal to walk among the sun, wherever he feels like, and do whatever he wants, and, that, and can walk in day and night. Now, of course, this is where Naruto realized that he can walk in sun, and, he regularly can eat a lot of things, and he has sometimes a taste for human flesh, but he regularly doesn't go for it. And he's listening. Now, as he's listening, Fukaku pretty much, tells him that if he comes back here, and join the Uchiha, then he can teach him what he wants to learn. Which Naruto is pretty much thinking and saying he refused to offer. And this is where Fukaku stops him and gives him a scroll, saying, if you ever considered it, come back and you can learn more of this. And it pretty much can work with your katana. Looks like it's a match with it. And he looks at the scroll, and it's the moon breathing style techniques. Now, it's only like, we're gonna say, two, so it's like half of the first ones, and then the last of them. So yeah, pretty much Naruto leaves and reads the first, first form, second form, third form, fourth form, and he begins to practice. Now, at first he doesn't get it straight, but he begins to get them all right the second time, and he begins to say, "Huh, I see." Now, this is where Naruto goes back to Uchiha, begins to talk to Fugaku and asks, to consider his offering, to join Uchiha, which Fugaku is, saying, "I'm happy to welcome you in our family." But secretly he's grinning and saying, "Yes, we have the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, and also the new Demon King. If we have him on our side, we can pretty much have have the Leaf Village to recognize us again and obey our every command." Now, this is where, of course, Fukaku offers up, you could say, a girl pretty much offer up someone as a bride to Naruto. And Naruto is saying, "A bride? Who is she?" Now, this is where Sasuke has a sister, you could say, and her name is pretty much Zero. Now, Zero Chia. Now, this is where Naruto is saying Zero. That's her name. Now, this is where, you know, Zero comes in and she says, "Yeah, got a problem with that?" And Naruto pretty much looks at her and says, "Huh, have a feisty attitude. I like that." And this is where she pretty much pulls out her kunai and about to slash Naruto. Until Naruto pulls out the blade and pretty much saying, "You gotta be quicker than that." And pretty much back away. Now this is where Fukaku says, "Stop it, daughter," which she pretty much says, "Yes, father," and pretty much saying that is your new future husband. Which she's saying, "Do I have a good? Do I have a saying in this?" Which Fukaku says, "No, you don't." Which Naruto says, "No, she has a saying. I won't. If she wants to justify it, she can justify it. I never was a person to force anyone into marrying me without without you know without proving myself." Which he comes close and pretty much picks up her hand and kisses it and says, "My name is Naruto Uzumaki. What is you? Nice to meet you." Which she begins to blush and pretty much says, "Yeah, Zero Chia," and begins to get up and walk away. Now, this is where, of course, Fukaku gives Naruto the second breathing style scroll of the moon breathing style, and Naruto begins to read it, and you could say reads it and learns it pretty quickly, knows it pretty quickly of the rest of the breathing style. Now, this is where uh, Fukaku offers Naruto a home in the compound, or the Uchiha compound, so he doesn't have to be left out and have to come back and forth, which Naruto accepts. Now, Naruto is a part of the Uchihas. He's not going to change his name, his last name, but he's going to, be a part of the Uchiha and a part of Fukaku family. Which all the Uchihas, are all friendly to Naruto, love him, because they love him because of his power and stuff, and how he's recognizing because he's the Demon King, and he also knows the Moon breathing style, so he's pretty much the stronger out of all the Uchihas, and he knows the breathing style, which throughout history known as the Moon Demon, which they know about the guy's name and know that he was the original one who pretty much killed 1,000 men. We're gonna say he killed 1,000 men with the styles. So yeah. So we're gonna start the next day. Naruto's pretty much heading to school, and the test is happening. Now everybody's passed the Shadow Clone test, including Sasuke, except for Naruto. Which Naruto is a little bit frustrated, but he's all calm and stable, saying, "Damn it." Now this is where Miski, yeah, Miski begins to make his grin and goes up to Naruto and says, "Hey Naruto, I was asking, I was wondering if you want to get an automatic pass, if you can do something." Now, like I said, Naruto's not dumb, but he's not the smartest. He's in the middle, balanced. Which Naruto is thinking and saying, "Yeah, what is it for me to pass?" Which Miski begins to grin and says, "Well, there's a scroll at the Hokage office. If you can get it for me, I can give you an automatic headband and you can pass." Which Naruto knows is something up, but he says okay, reluctantly, because he wants to just get the damn headband. Now, later that night, Naruto begins to start, getting in there, and he grabs a scroll. Now, as he grabs the scroll, this is where Hiruzen pretty much stops him in his tracks and saying, "Naruto, what do you think you're doing with that scroll?" Which Naruto pretty much saying, well, I can't tell you who told me to give it to you, but pretty much I'm just gonna take this scroll." This is where Hiruzen's about to stop him until Naruto pretty much goes forward and grabs Hiruzen's face and slams him to the ground, pretty much knocking him out. Or no, we're gonna say he pretty much appears right behind him and karate chops him right in the neck. Which Hiruzen is thinking, how fast, what was that speed, and how did he get right behind him and Hiruzen just passed out. Now Naruto's pretty much heading and going. As he's going, he's pretty much, you know, makes it in the forest and he pretty much has a scroll. Now, before he gives the scroll, he begins to say, "Might as well look inside of it." Now, he's looking at a lot of jutsus and stuff, and he's pretty much saying, I don't know about none of these jutsus, but what about this one? And he learns pretty much the multi-chakra jutsu, and he closes up the scroll. Now, as he closes up the scroll, he pretty much about to give it to Misuke until we're gonna say his other teacher comes in and pretty much says, "Naruto, what are you doing here?" Now, this is where Naruto looks in, pretty much just saying, Well, I was supposed to give the scroll to Mitsuki because Mitsuki says if I give it to him, I can pass. Which, of course, we all know that it was a trap. And Mitsuki throws his giant kunai or shuriken. Yeah, shuriken. Yeah, sorry, giant shuriken at his back and pretty much damage the other instructor. Now, Naruto begins to put the kick the instructor with the takes the kunai out the instructor no shuriken out the other guy's back. I forgot his name and gives him the scroll and throws him out the forest. Pretty much is in a calm state saying, so you was about to betray me and not give me the headband, was you? Which Mitsuki says, guilty as charged. Now, you gonna go get me that scroll or do I have to kill you, you nine-tailed Cherokee? Which Naruto is a little bit stunned and saying, nine-tails? Which this is where Mitsuki take that as his advantage and saying, yeah, you nine-tailed Cherokee. You wonder why the village hates you and stuff? Because you're that damn nine-tails that caused the attack and killed everybody. And every village and every people know that the whole attack. Every other village knows too that you're a threat. A damn beast, a monster, a demon. Which this is where, he's saying all that stuff. Which Naruto is, like I said, a little bit flinched at this, but not, shocked. Now, this is where Mitsuki pulls out another shuriken and he throws it at Naruto. Now, this is where Naruto smiles and says, so, he was right. And pretty much slashed the blade. Pretty much pulls out his moon blade. And, moon blade and slash the shuriken in half. They pretty much saying, you really think that will work on me? Pretty much, you really think that will work on me? And pretty much think you can just stun me so you can kill me right away? This is where Mitsuki is terrified because he sees Naruto with a big grin, a devilish grin, you could say. And this is where Naruto used the second form, Pearlin Flowers Moon gazing, if I'm correct. He used which Naruto pretty much does a breathe. Well, you could say a nice breathe and do a several slash while sending a barrage of cycles forward at Mitsuki, and pretty much cuts him in multiple pieces, pretty much leaving him in shreds, like a dead, ugly, piled up bunch of meat parts, you could say. Now, this is where, of course, uh, Aruka, yeah, there he is. Aruka pretty much is coming and seeing Naruto, right? Which he pretty much sees Naruto putting in his blade and sees Mitsuki on the ground in pieces. Which Aruka is terrified, saying, "Did you?" Which Naruto says, "Yes, I killed him. Do you hate me for it?" Which Aruka says, "No, I don't. I just didn't know you wouldn't hesitate." Which Naruto says, "Huh, I don't." And begins to go. But just before he goes, this is where Aruka gives him the headband, pretty much saying, "Here you go. You kind of deserve it. Well, you deserve it." He's giving it out of respect, but also fear. Now, after that, this is where, of course, Naruto is like, you could say smiling. You could say smiling and, happy that he got the headband. Now, this is where if you're asking where he put his headband at, Naruto is going to put the headband still on his forehead, but he kind of got it in detailed, which the Uchiha kind of redesigned it for him and had his headband on top of his forehead, but the horns is kind of linked with it, so it's kind of has a little bit as a, yeah, you could say that he has a headband, but horns is still there and kind of like connected together, you could say. Now, the next day, this is where um, Naruto and Sasuke is walking together, which Sasuke is pretty much talking to Naruto as you could say brothers, as family, or as a brother, or pretty much talking to him and saying, "So, are we gonna be getting rubber news later on, Naruto?" Which Naruto is a calm state as always, saying, "Yeah, you could say, yeah, you can. Yeah, we're gonna be getting rubber news later on." Which everybody knows that Naruto and Sasuke is friends, and if anyone disrespect Naruto, Sasuke will give you that death stare like, "Hey, don't fucks with my mans," you could say. And also, Zero is also has feelings for Naruto, and she also, gives girls the look of "this is my man." Except for she is a rebel, so she kind of have feelings for Naruto too, even what he looks like. Now, this is where, of course, they're in class and they're studying all teams and stuff. And Naruto is pretty much, excited, a little bit like happy, saying, "Well, one step closer, becoming a Hokage," as he's thinking in his head. Now, as they're doing the teams, this is where the guy begins to say the team names and says, and for Team Seven, Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, and Sakura Haruno, which which uh both Sasuke and Naruto has decided that they're on the same team, which all the other girls are envious that they're not on Sasuke team. If Sasuke looks different, girls still like him because they kind of have the hots for Naruto. I mean for Sasuke and his, you could say, his cool black nails and stuff and his unique eyes, you could say. Now, of course, this is where Naruto and Sasuke is happy that they're on the same team, but they also realize they have useless Sakura on their team, which they're pretty much saying, we got a useless person on our team. Like, I'd rather take your sister than this girl, or take Hinata. Which this is where, of course, the instructor looked again and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I read the name wrong. It's Hinata Hiruda, Hinata Hyuga." Which all the girls are saying, "What?" Which Sakura saying, "What? How can this be?" Which uh, Hinata is like very excited and jumps up, says, "Yay!" Which she begins to look down in embarrassment. Which this is where, of course, Zero is pissed off about it, and Sakura too, which she doesn't know how it becomes a mistake. Now, this is where they're all. This is where they're all, of course, sitting and waiting for their instructor Kakashi. Which this is where Naruto is pretty much, talking to Sasuke and stuff. This is where he goes to Hinata and pretty much introduces himself, saying, "Hello, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, and this is my you could say brother Sasuke Uchiha." Which Sasuke introduced himself awfully to Hinata, which of course mm, yeah, of course this is where yeah, of course, where Hinata is blushing and saying, "Hi, my name is Hinata Hirugo," and explains the whole thing. Which Naruto is saying, "Oh, I heard that y'all have a unique Kinki Hinkai where y'all can use the Byakugan. Is that true?" Which she's saying, "Yeah, we can." Which this is where Naruto says, "Well, can I see it?" Now, this is where we're gonna say Hina activated her Byakugan, and at first she looks at Sasuke and she sees Sasuke dark chakra. We're gonna say for the Uchiha that chakra is dark, like black. So if they're at night and you're trying to look for that chakra, you can't find it at night. You can only find it in the day. But pretty much you can tell what's a Uchiha and not to Uchiha. But pretty much she looks at Sasuke and she's saying, "Oh." And this is where she looks at Naruto's chakra, and his chakra is much darker. More, you could say, more darker, you could say, and scarier. And she begins to run and throw up, which Naruto asks, "Oh, are you alright?" Which she pretty much backs away, like shaking, and shaking very bravely because she's seen the chakra. Now this is where Naruto asks, "Did I scare you or something? What happened?" Was she saying, "No, no, I it's just I've been training and I forgot that I overdid myself of using my Bianca God." Which Naruto says, "Oh, okay, well, I get you a tower or something," and he pre which Sasuke says he go and get it and he be back, which he comes back and give it to her. Now, what basically just happened? I'm gonna put in a little detail how what happened to Hinata. So basically, if anyone used the Kinkai to look up or see Naruto, just like Sharingan or anything, they will get this overwhelming premise of death. Like, have you ever felt that feeling of death lurking on you, and you'd start to get nauseous, ready to throw up, pissing yourself, shitting yourself, ready to kill yourself? It basically killing yourself to make this number in. It basically Naruto has that pure pressure, or you could say that presence of death lurking. And Naruto can unleash it when he wants, but he doesn't know it yet. But he pretty much has it. Now, this is where, of course, Kakashi comes in, and he says sorry that he's late, and pretty much looks at the whole team. And he looks at Sasuke and Naruto, and he sees Sasuke is a little bit different. Like I said, pale skin, and Naruto with the pale skin, but also see their eyes, and their eyes color is much different than Hinata's. They're saying, "Huh, are they both Uchihas?" Probably. Now, Kakashi has one of the Uchiha eyes, one of the demon Uchiha eyes, but doesn't mean he has the blood of the demon. So the Sharingan has a more drastic effect on him, as how can I say it drains his chakra 10 times. Because if you're a demon and you're a Uchiha and you use your eyes, it doesn't affect you. You can keep using your Sharingan eyes. You can push past your limit over and over again without getting tired or anything. It's just your regeneration. The drawback is just your regeneration. You have a little bit of difficult time to heal yourself with regeneration. But other than that, you're pretty much set. Now, if you're not a Uchiha and you took one of their eyes and you're using it, it pretty much drains your chakra 10 times quicker, and it pretty much causes a little bit of temporary blindness. Temporary, as you go blind for a couple of minutes in that eye, and you have to wait for the effect to be gone. So the drawback is very bad, you could say. Now, let's go back. Pretty much, Kakashi is pretty much looking and saying, "Huh, okay, let's everybody meet up the rooftop." Now, this is where Sasuke does this whole thing, but not the same as the killing someone because the Uchiha haven't died yet. When I say yet, I mean yet. And Sasuke, Sasuke just pretty much says, hanging out with his brother, one day being in the shadows of the Hokage, as a shadow Hokage, you could say. Now, for Naruto is the same, but his is want to become the Demon King Hokage, the first I ever know. Believe it. Which Hinata goes and says that she wants to protect someone she loves and blushes, and all that, and wants to be strong for that person. Which Kakashi says, "Huh, I see. Okay," and begins to, says, "All right, well, bell test tomorrow. Don't eat or you're gonna puke." Which Naruto and Sasuke doesn't care because they're not gonna puke because, like I said, they're demons. They're, you could say, hybrid of demons, next generation. Is suffering. She's gonna take it by heart. Now, as they're going, this is where Sasuke and Naruto is about to go to the ramen shop and eat. Which this is where, of course, Naruto looks at Hinata and asks her, "Would you like to come with us?" Which at first she says it, but she says yeah, and they all go and eat together. Now, next day, this is where everybody's waking up and stuff, and Naruto begins to. Before he wakes up, he has, you could say, a tiny bit of a dream he thinks he's having, but it's kind of a lake, you could say a waterfall with the moon, kind of has sharp up pieces. and he's looking around and he's by a tree. Now this is where he sees a dude. A dude has a foxtail and fox ears, and he begins to sit by it. Sit by his dude. Sit by him, and the dude pretty much offers him and says, "We like some tea," which Naruto says yes, and they begin to have tea together. Now this is where Naruto asks, "Who is he?" And this is where the dude smiles and says, "Well, I am Kurama, the Nine-Tailed Shinchuriki," or you could say the, or you could say you're the host. You're the host of the Nine-Tailed Shinchuriki, Naruto. Which this is where Naruto is not shocked, but listening and saying, "Okay, so you're the Nine-Tailed Shinchuriki and you're inside of me. So this is the first. So this is the first time we finally meet each other." Which Kurama says, "Yes, this is the first time. Now I'm here to, you could say, talk to you, and want to get to know each other better, you could say." And Kurama, this Kurama is, like I said, together, so he's not the hatred Kurama who hates humans and stuff. He's all together, so he is kind of a conversational person, but also, still Kurama we know and love. But, together. Now, this is where Naruto is talking and basically saying, "Okay, what do you want to know about?" Which, Kurama begins to pretty much says, "Well, I'll let you go first to ask questions." Which Naruto asks smart questions the same. So, what is the Jinchuriki and where do y'all come from? Which Kurama begins to explain this stuff and pretty much says, his master and stuff is saying. And Naruto begins to say, "Well, I'm sorry for what happened to your master, but well, well, thank you for, being my Jinchuriki." Which Kurama is taking and saying, "Huh, so you're glad for me being inside of you?" Which Naruto smiles with a demonish grin and says, "Yeah, without you, messing up on my chakra, I wouldn't have to test out. I wouldn't have the chance to test out my breathing style, my second breathing style, on a person to kill." Which this is where Kurama is a tiny bit scared, but he begins to says, "Huh, I see. Well, I want to talk to you more, so make sure to come to me and talk. If we can maybe form up a bond and stuff. And hey, maybe if you're lucky, I'll let you use some of my chakra as a boost, or if you need it." Which Naruto says, "Okay, thank you, Kurama." And he wakes up. Now, Naruto is pretty much getting dressed and stuff, and he pretty much heads out. Now, Sasuke, Naruto, and is pretty much together, waiting for Kakashi and stuff. Which Naruto and Sasuke already ate, except for and she's pretty much starving. This is where Naruto, of course, pulls out some food and give Hinata some, which Hinata's saying that Kakashi said they're not supposed to eat, which Naruto says that's what he said, but he's only saying that so we could be not thinking and be hungry. Now, of course, this is where Hinata eats in and not that hungry anymore. Now, this is where Kakashi comes in and, says, makes this excuse saying, sorry, he lost his way of life, lost himself into the role way of life and stuff, and everybody's like, Now, this is where Kakashi explains the bell test and stuff and what they have to do. And for them to pass, they have to grab these two bells, and there's only two, so only two people can pass. And one person can fail. Which, of course, this is where Sasuke is saying what they do, which Naruto says that he figured out the way, but right now, let's do let let them just focus. Let's just focus on the getting the bells. Now, this is where, of course, Kakashi says, "Are you mark? Get set, go," and everybody start splitting, except for Naruto. Naruto pretty much already explained the plan to Sasuke and Hinata before Kakashi came, and he's just standing there now. Kakashi is pretty much saying, "Oh, here goes another one who thinks they're good." Which this is where Naruto begins to walk very slowly. It says, well, I guess it's time to test this move out. And he pretty much breathes in very slowly, and he pretty much says, third form, Lame Samoon, if Lame Samoon, if I'm correct, chains, which he pretty much rapidly in two and crescent slices from which a basically he's going to basically he pulls out his sword and breathes and he used two concentric slices if I'm correct, and from a storm, well you could say a storm, and spread a wide ways, you could say it, he spread a wide ways destruction around his area. He basically does it, but well, two slashes and created a moon slash storm, two storm moon slash storms, to kind of like a tornado, and throw him at Kakashi, which Kakashi immediately closes his book and jump out of there, but he gets cut in the process. And he backs up pretty much, a little bit bleeding, saying, "Huh, look like I'm gonna get serious," and pulls out his eye and pretty much begins to use the Sharingan. You could say the Demon Eye Sharingan, the three sharp eye Sharingan, which Naruto realized he has a Sharingan. Now, this is where Naruto begins to say, "Huh, I see. Okay." And this is where Naruto not does his and just says, "Oh, now you getting serious to try to kill me?" Which is where Kakashi fires two fireballs, which Naruto dodges both of them, and Kakashi goes for a kick, which Naruto blocks it with his blade and gets sent flying to a tree. Now this is where Naruto used the fourth form, Moon Spirit, Konosho Eddie, which he makes multiple curve slices layers over one one over over one another, rapidly and releasing maximum Russian blades. Basically like that. He's basically doing he's basically slashing blades over another moon slice blade. And Kakashi's pretty much trying to dodge all of them, and he gets cut by each and one of them. Which Naruto is pretty much saying, "Huh, you're pretty strong, Kakashi." Which this is where Kakashi says, "Huh, don't count me out yet." It pretty much creates two clones. He can't create three because, like I said, it's taking really a lot off his chakra right now, and he's pretty much getting his chakra drained out from the eye. So basically, Naruto Naruto is pretty much saying, hmm, maybe that eye is taking his chakra much quicker. I might as well end this. And this is where Naruto starts to charge forward real quick. Well, you could say much faster in light speed. Not light speed, but you could say blitzing. And begins to charge at Kakashi. Which this is where Kakashi is trying to dodge Naruto cuts, which he's dodging them but also getting cut by them. It pretty much grabs Naruto, gets close up to Naruto and pretty much headbutts Naruto. It pretty much sends him flying to the water. Which this is where Naruto is about to you could say backflip and hop stands on water, which Kakashi realized that shit, he can he can walk on water, which Naruto begins to smile with a devilish grin. It begins to use the first form and pretty much attack Kakashi with it, which this is where Kakashi is pretty much saying shit and pretty much get hit by it. Now Kakashi's pretty much standing up and pretty much saying, "Oh, you got me." Which Naruto is smiling and saying, "I guess I did." And this is where Naruto gets stabbed in the back. Which Naruto saying, this is where Naruto begins to realize he got stabbed in. This is where he freaks out and he uses if I'm correct, we're gonna say the the ringtail, if I'm correct, and begins to scream out and does slashes everywhere. Which Sasuke Hinata has to pretty much back away because Naruto's damaging everything around him because he got stabbed in the back. And Kakashi Kon gets killed, and Kakashi gets sent flying into another tree, which Naruto begins to take out the kunai out his back and pretty much calms down and says, now this is where Naruto runs up, walks and grabs the bell, and gives one to Sasuke and pretty much grabs Hana's hand and holds her hand and pretty much saying, did we pass? Which Kakashi is pretty much saying, you passed. And they're all sighted. Now, as Sasuke and Naruto pretty much is heading back from the Uchiha compound, this is where it happens. Naruto begins to smell blood and says, I smell blood. And begins to go forward. Now, as he's going forward, he looks and he sees a blood everywhere on the ground, dead bodies everywhere. Which Sasuke begins to freak out and runs to look for his family and yelling out mom and dad. Which Naruto runs with Sasuke to see if their mom and dad is alright. You could say. Now, this is where they see their dead bodies right there, and they look around see who did it. And this is where Kakashi comes out, which Sasuke asks, Kakashi, have you seen who murdered the Uchiha compound? Who murdered them and stuff? Until Naruto tells Sasuke to shut up and look, and sees Kakashi comes out with a blade with blood, and Kakashi with we're gonna say with the demon eyes. Well, nah, with one demon eye and one Sharingan, regular Sharingan. Which this is where of course Naruto says, why did you do it? Why did you kill the whole Uchiha clan? Which this is where Kakashi does, not Kakashi, Itachi says his legendary signature word saying, I just did to test out my power. Now, of course, this is where Sasuke gets pissed off and begins to, activate his one Sharingan, his one sharp eye Sharingan. And it has like a sharp eye thing, not like a tumbleweed, but like a sharp eye. Kind of like the eyes right there, but different. Now, this is where Sasuke blitzes and charge at uh, Itachi to try to kill him, which Itachi kicks Sasuke out the building, and makes Sasuke hit the wall, which Naruto pretty much pulls out his blade and charge at Kakashi and not Kakashi, damn it, I'm sorry, but Itachi, and pretty much slashes at him, which Itachi counters it with another blade, which Naruto saying, "I'm gonna kill you for killing them," which, of course, Itachi saying, "If you can." Now, Itachi pretty much uh, blocks the blade and sends Naruto out the building, which this is where not Kakashi. I keep thinking about it, but my bad. Itachi pretty much jumps out the building and pretty much fires two fireballs at Sasuke and Naruto, which Naruto uses his third form breathing style and pretty much cancel out the fireballs. Now, as it's happening, this is where Naruto yells at Sasuke and says, "Go look for Zero," which Sasuke begins to say, "I can't leave you. I gotta help you." Which Naruto yells out, "Damn it, go do the hell I told you and go look for your sister." Which Sasuke goes. Now, this is where Itachi says, "You better focus on the battle with me," and blitzes Naruto, which Naruto backs up and pretty much uses his fourth form. Now, Naruto is a little bit under stress right now due to the whole fight and thinking, and he's thinking of how he can defeat Itachi without killing him, you could say. Now, as he's doing that, this is where he's fighting Itachi, and he's pretty much using his styles and stuff. And Itachi's getting hurt a little bit, but not that much. And this is where Itachi says, Naruto, you could join me, and we can leave this village together. This is where Naruto pretty much begins to smirk and says, why? After what you just did, and killed our whole clan, our family, you think I'm gonna actually join you? Which this is where Itachi begins to smile and says, huh, I knew it. This is where Naruto gets even more pissed off, and he started using the sixth form, and he begins to scream and pretty much start destruction around, which this is where Itachi takes his opportunity and pretty much stabs Naruto in the chest, which Naruto coughs up blood, and Itachi pretty much takes out the blade, and Naruto passes out. Now, as Naruto's down for the crown, this is where Sasuke is crying and pretty much telling Naruto to wake up. He can't be dead. You can't die. You're the only brother I got now. And my sister's still here too. Ain't y'all promised y'all supposed to? Which Naruto begins to see tears coming down Sasuke's face and hitting his face. Which Naruto pretty much tells him to stop crying. It's okay. Which which Sasuke hugs Naruto and saying that he thought he was gone, and he thought it was just him and his sister. Which Naruto looks and sees Zero, and she hugs and says that she thought he was dead. Now, as they're pretty much looking around, they pretty much says what they do now, which Naruto says, well, the first step we gotta do is we gotta eat them. Which Sasuke is pretty much saying, eat our own clan? Why? Why do we? Which this is where Naruto says, well, for us to get strong, the Uchiha, when every time an Uchiha dies, your father told me this. When an Uchiha dies, they eat the Uchiha body part, eats the whole Uchiha body part, and as they digest them, they get their power, but also they get more stronger in physical strength, paralysis, and everything, and they be capable to be that of the Sunwalker, which Sasuke is pretty much a little bit of a Sasuke is a little bit against it, but he agrees of it, and Zero agrees of it because now they have a new goal to kill Itachi. But Naruto's is still different of trying to figure out why Itachi killed Uchiha, you could say. Now, of course, this is the 18th part. This is where they begins to eat all the Uchiha. Eat every single last Uchiha. Naruto, Zero, and Naruto. Yeah, and Sasuke. They begin to eat every Uchiha. Now, as they're eating every Uchiha, we're going to say their stomach is empty so they don't get stuffed. So, as they're eating, every Uchiha is, you could say, buried, but their eyes are all I can say is their eyes are kept, you could say, in the jar. Now, they have the eyeballs and they have it at the, you could say, house where they're all seeing it. Now, Hiruzen is pretty much saying he's sorry for their loss, which Naruto pretty much gets up and says, yeah, and walks out. Which Zero and Sasuke walks out and they got the house. Now, the next day, Kakashi pretty much is, looking at them and pretty much trying to see what is wrong with Sasuke and Naruto, which Kakashi asks, what's with the brown faces? What's wrong? Which this is where Naruto begins to just explain what happened, and Kakashi says, well, he's sorry for their loss. But they have to, if they want to focus, if they want to find out answers, they have to get strong, which Naruto says yeah, and Sasuke says yeah too. And they begins to get up and start to train. Now this is part 1 of what if Naruto learned the moon breathing style from, you could say, Demon Slayer. If you like, leave a like, comment, do all that. And this is the 300 subscriber special. So I'm Keyshawn Chia. Thanks for watching, and peace out. And I might be doing a live broadcast. So yeah, make sure to check out for that.
It looks like you lost another one.